Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Old Lady Tries to Build Something in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Today, we're going to try to build a simple bone meal farm. Now, I've already marked out the area that we're going to be using in dirt here, so let's see how it goes. I apologize in advance for the crappy sound quality, and also for my cat meowing in the background. But let's get started. The basic footprint of this machine is going to be 5 blocks on one side. Then kitty corner to those blocks, we're going to put down 2 long walls of 11 each. Now over here, we have our materials. Now, I've seen this version of the machine several different iterations on YouTube, and they weren't always precise with the materials. So we're just going to start with this bunch and see where it takes us. So let's get going. So first we're going to lay down our 5 building blocks. And you can use any kind of blocks for this as long as they are fireproof. So I would prefer working with stone. And then once you've laid down the 5, you're going to lay down 11 stones on each side, as so. Starting kitty corner to the 5. That's going to be the area where stone is generated. So the next thing we're going to do is dig out a trench 2 deep and 7 across between these 2 walls. Start at the right wall and go underneath the left wall till you're one past that wall. This is where our collection and storage systems are going to be. Okay, so we dig out a trench between these last 2 down, 5 across, and then 2 more across so that you're going underneath the wall here. Then down here, we're going to place our double chest. And then we're going to place some hoppers. Remember to crouch. So that they are all feeding into that chest. Still crouched. Gonna place composters on top of each of the hoppers. Then we're going to place hoppers on top of each composter. 5. And there you have it. We're going to need some obsidian. You can go ahead and fill this in. And you're going to place 5 obsidian here. So far, so good. Now we are going to place all right, who's shooting at me? Ah, brother. Excuse me while I deal with this idiot. Thank you. Now, back to where we were. We've placed our 5 pistons there. Put my weapons away. And try this again. Now we're going to want to put blocks on top of each piston. And another row of blocks in front of that. And now comes the water time. I'm going to place water on each of these pistons. Until we have a smooth flow of water going down that way. Refill all our buckets. Now it's time for the dispensers. Basically, we want to fill each dispenser with a bucket of water. Like so. So far, so good. Okay, now we're going to go up and remove this inner set of blocks. And then place 4 blocks on this side and 4 blocks on this side. Let's pick up our stuff here. Here's a lava bucket. I'm going to place the lava right in the middle there. It will spread out and stop the water. Now comes the redstone stuff. Place redstone on top of each of these 5 blocks in the back. Place a building block there, temporarily. Place a hopper going into the building block. Then remove it. And place a hopper going into that hopper so that they're facing each other. Now hop onto your hoppers, and we're going to place a couple of comparators. One there, and one there. Then behind the comparator, a block with a touch of redstone on it. Now we need 2 pistons. Place one all right, let's try it this way. Place a block, place your comparator. This works. Once again, place a temporary block, place a piston. Remove the temporary block and place a comparator. Now on top of this block, or on top of this one, we're going to place a lever. We're going to place a redstone and push the lever so that the redstone has now been pushed over. Okay. Turn the lever back off. Now we need an observer. And we need it facing into this hopper. So remember to crouch and place it in. We'll place some dirt into the hopper. Turn it on. Should be going back and forth. Now we're going to come back behind the observer, place a temporary block and a block on top, remove the temporary block, and place a dot of redstone on top. Let's see if this is working. Yep, it's generating stone. Why does it always start to rain when I'm doing this? Let's place glass all the way around the outside. And on top of the hoppers. Always remember to crouch when you do that. Actually, that glass should go one row past the hoppers, so that's a mistake on my part that I correct later. We're going to add a block right in front of this hopper. Facing that repeater. Now redstone on top of the dispensers. Then a building block right there, and a piece of redstone on top of that. Now, if we did this correctly, the water should flow just like that. Beauty. I'll turn it off for the moment. Let's get on to the next step of the redstone. Then we need to come up, put blocks all the way around. Now with blocks, we're going to form an L shape to the left of that moss. All right. Now what we need to do is we need to put a dispenser facing in to this moss. Then we need to put a dropper facing down. Oops, nope. into the dispenser. See if we got it. Okay. Then we can take away these blocks. And we need another hopper, and we don't have one. Well, let's go make a couple of hoppers. I'll be right back. Okay, on this side, we're going to put a temporary block here, if we remember to crouch. And on top of that, we're going to place a dropper. So let's use some temporary blocks. Nope. I think we got it this time. Yes. Get rid of the temporary blocks. So far, so good. Facing up into the redstone block, or redstone lamp. Then we'll need 2 temporary blocks there. And we'll remove this one. And put a redstone dot right there. Then we'll put a temporary block there. A full block there. And another redstone dot. And get rid of the temporary block. Alright, let's get going. We're near the end. It's almost done. And put our stair there. Right. All that's left now is a lot of redstone hookup. So let's go ahead and get rid of most of the scaffolding. And let's see if we can get the rest of the redstone hooked up. Then one more on top of there, and redstone both. Three more blocks there. Carry the redstone up to there. Okay. Now that we've added the glass, we're going to put a repeater. Put it to max tick. Put another repeater. Put it to max tick. And a redstone dot. Okay, well, we're out of bone meal. So let's shut her down. And see what we got. Well, this is not energy efficient. Okay, we've AFK'd for a while, and it wasn't quite an hour, and it looks like there's no more bone meal in the system because no more moss is being generated. But as you can see, we, in our inventory, have a lot of this extra that we picked up from being right next to the moss block. So let's go ahead and toss this in to the system. Get it flushed into the hoppers. Check and see what our yields are. Alright, we're shut down. Let's see what we have. 9, almost 10. So the more bone meal you put into the system, the more efficient it is and the more you get out of it. I wouldn't start with any less than 3 because then you might get diminishing returns, less bone meal out than you put in. And you'd have to AFK several times, slowly growing your bone meal supply. Till you get, my recommendation would be running this with 9, which would probably about an hour AFK, and would get you at least 1 or 2 stacks more than you put into the system. So there you have it. It is a working bone meal farm for bedrock. It's a bit slow and clunky, and the returns aren't great, but it is functional, and if you don't have a skelly spawner or any other way to get bone meal, it is a way to go. Now, there is a bigger, more efficient machine out there done by Silent Whisperer that has 2 stone generators and a whole bunch of moss in the middle, and it's a monster to build. It would cover a much bigger footprint, require a lot of rails and powered rails, lots of mine carts and hopper mine carts, and a lot of redstone components. But I may try it. Well, there you have it. There's our working farm. The more stacks I put in, the more I get out. 12 stacks will now get you 14 stacks of bone meal.